In our last two videos, we looked at the References tab and the Review tab. Up in this video is the Mailings tab. This video is all about the beloved feature in Word called the Mail Merge. By the end of this video, you will be able to create and edit a mail merge, a very, very useful feature in Word. As far as the certification exam goes, the 2010 exam did test this topic. In 2013, the way you're creating a document, I am not sure this will be tested. However, the mail merge is very, very useful if you need to send out a form letter to multiple recipients. On the screen you see a template with some information, a totally irrelevant body that just came from the template. I didn't change it because it doesn't matter for the purposes of this discussion. And you'll notice some weird things in the middle where it says address block and greeting line. These are mail merge codes. So if I come up here on the Mailings tab to preview results, you will see that the address block fills in with an address and the greeting line fills in with a greeting. Now there are 1,218 recipients in my list here, so I could send 1,218 exact replicas of the same letter by only typing it once and adding a recipient list. That's the power of the mail merge. Instead of having to go in and change the address line and greeting over 1,200 times, I can do it once using mail merge. So let's talk about how we get a mail merge. So I'm going to switch to a blank document as I've done here, and on the Mailings tab you can start with selecting recipients, pick what you want to create, but there is a step-by-step wizard under Start Mail Merge, step-by-step mail merge wizard. Now we have 5 options on the document type. We're going to send letters, emails, we're going to print envelopes, we're going to make labels, or we're going to make a directory. We're going to write letters as you saw in my example. So I'm going to leave letters, the default option, and come down here and select Next. So next is the starting document. Are we going to use the current document? Are we going to start from a template? Or are we going to start from a document we already have created separately? I'm going to start from a template, and I'm going to select this same template that you saw on the other screen. So here we go. There's our template with recipient name, address, no mail merge code yet, just what was on the template. I'll type in my information here. This address is totally fake. Please don't send fan mail. Okay. Now it's going to ask me to select recipients. I have 3 options. I can use a list, which can be an Access database, a CSV file with headers, an Excel database, a Word document, any number of sources. I can use my contacts in Outlook if I was going to send emails. Even if I'm making letters, I can still use my Outlook contacts, but it would make sense to use them if I'm sending emails. Or I can type a new list from scratch. Quickly, let's look at type a new list. You get a blank box, and here's all the fields that can be used in a mail merge. And I can customize them, add new ones, but these are the defaults. I'll type my entry, click new entry, and keep going. I'm going to use an existing list, browse for it. By default, it browses to my data sources, just the default that it goes to. So let me go to documents here, and in my Word core folder I have a Excel spreadsheet with a tab. Now it's going to ask you if there are multiple sheets in the document, it's going to ask you what sheet is the data on, and it's going to ask you if your first row of data contains column headers. If it doesn't, you're going to create the headers on your own. I would recommend, big time saver, put the headers in your recipient list. If you're importing one in, make sure it has headers. It'll save you a lot of trouble and headaches when you try to do the merge. So if I hit OK, I'm going to get a list here of all the people, all 1,200 and something in this document. Now I have several options. I can sort it, filter it, find duplicates, find a particular person, or if I have additional software installed, I can actually validate the authenticity of these addresses. What I'm going to do is find duplicates, and there's a lot of duplicates here. So I'm going to start unchecking all but the first one here. And I could go all the way down and do this. I'm not going to go all the way, but that'll remove those entries. It'll remove those from the merge. Notice they're unchecked. If they're unchecked, they're not. If I uncheck, let's say Michelle Butler here, uncheck her, she's no longer in the mail merge. If I check her again, obviously she's back in. I'm going to sort this data. I'm going to sort it by last name alphabetically, then by state. So here's my same data just sorted. I'm going to hit OK. Now I have my recipient list in the mail merge. However, if I were to preview the merge now, notice it's grayed out. I can't do anything. I don't have any merge fields. So write and insert fields category comes into play now. The recipient's name and address together is referred to as the address block. So if I click address block, it'll give me an example over here, as you see. And I have many options here of how I want the name to appear. We want the full name to appear here. Now, if there are problems, if it doesn't look right, I can match fields, match the fields that I showed you when I was typing to the actual fields in the merge. And notice it's smart. The headers I had was first, last, address, city, state, and zip, and it correctly matched those to the fields over here that are included in the merge. So if I hit OK, let me get rid of this for a second. Okay. I'm going to click address block, hit OK. Now notice I get address block. Preview results is now also active because I have a merge field. Now I'm going to change this to greeting line. And we have dear, to, or none. So we'll say dear. Now I'm just going to put, now this is if there's not a name associated with them. What are we going to show? Here though, I'm just going to put first name and a colon. Again, if we have problems, we can match fields. So there's my greeting line. I'll get rid of what I have there already. Now I can preview, and there is my mail merge. All done. Now let's pick the date up here, which is today's date. We'll say today. There's my mail merge, and I have 1,218 letters, all created. That simple. Now, let's talk about a few additional things. I can highlight my merge fields, which shows what's merged in my document. I can also insert a merge field. If I want to use more than address line or address block or greeting line, I can insert a field. So I have Dear Amber here, but in this text in here, I'm going to say today is a wonderful day, and I want to put the person's first name. Insert merge field, pick what I want first. You have been selected to receive a discount for Slane Corp services because you live in the area. So now notice we have more fields. So if we preview, today's a wonderful day, Essence. You have been selected to receive a discount for Slane Corp services because you live in the Greensboro area. We go over here to number 56, who happens to be also live in Greensboro, incidentally. 158 lives in High Point, named Shannon. There we go. Now I can also have rules. These are these are things I can do with a merge. So ask me to do something. I can add, prompt me. If then else. So if the first name is equal to a certain thing, Shannon, so I just put it here at the end. Your name did not match because the name wasn't Shannon. But if I go to 158 here, which was, you see this was Shannon, you received an extra 20% off. So that's rules. We can also do a fill-in. We can do a next record if. So we only go to the next one if something happens. Basic conditional logic. Won't be used very often, but it's there. When I'm finished, when I'm actually ready to go, and I'm going to go back to if then else, I'm going to get rid of this here. And if I get rid of it there, it'll get rid of it in all my documents because it was a merge field. So if I go over here to finish and merge, I'm done. I can print the documents, send emails. Now this is not a default option. This is because I have Acrobat installed. So you may not see, probably won't see this button unless you have Acrobat 11 or Acrobat full version of Acrobat installed and not the reader. So once I have the recipients in, I can go back and edit the recipient list, or I can outright change the list. So that's about all the time we have in this video. This video described the very useful feature in Word of creating a mail merge. Next time, we're going to talk about the find and replace features in Word.